Hello and welcome back to Lord of Heroes on Nyris Gaming. We have our update today with the new Wandering Hero summon banner and our new aptitude system and our new relics. So we're going to be taking a look at all of that. Let us start with the summon banner. Come on down to the summon tab. It's going to be the link summon right here, and like the others you'll be able to choose one to focus here. I'm gonna go with Earth 9 for now. I was under the impression we would be able to choose one. That seems to not be the case, or I misremembered what the stipulation was. Let me double check. Okay. They said there would be an opportunity to select one. They did not stipulate what the specifics of it were, or if it would be on the update specifically, or at a later time. So, judging how this looks currently, probably at a later time. So, let us get into the aptitudes. Sifrid was one of the ones I had maxed out aptitudes because I kept getting her. So, let's unlock these. Okay, you can see her base health at 15k right now. I believe that was more along the lines of 18k before because of aptitudes. I had her at around 80,000 health. Now she's dropped all the way down to 69,000 health, but should have 3 of these. That'll give her a 5% health boost. This will also give her innate speed, so she'll be even faster than I have her already. Nice little animation there. You can click on these to see what they do. Level 3 should be 10% in each, so this will be a 20% base health increase and a 20% attack base increase. And we'll also get the aptitude skill at level 3. This will bring her up to 16,702. Very important for her because everything about her scales with health. Nice that they show the equipment stat increases on the right tier as well, so you can see that increase. There we go. That's back to more how it was before. So, second ascension, level 60 Sifrid, aptitude 3 has 18,221 base health, and with a bunch of health main stat equipment, this has pushed her over to 82,000 health. Only thing is that we'll have to summon her more. Geez, that even pushed her over 1,000 attack, which is weird for a cleric, for most of them at least. But this, however, she now, upon taking a turn, has a 15% chance to revive light elemental allies respectively, and heal them for 15% of their health. This will go up to 22% chance once you hit aptitude 5. Based on how this says respectively now, it didn't say that on the update details. So this can revive any light elemental ally on your team, I would imagine, other than Sifrid, because it's kind of hard for her to do that if she's dead. And yes, I have barely upgraded her skills, and she is still really useful. That is how good of a unit she is. Now, sadly, you cannot sort by aptitude available, so that's going to be obnoxious. Onward to the link summon relics. Earth Lumi. Her default will be health increase. Her refined is going to be upon attacking, each ally is granted a 35% chance to gain damage resistance for 2 turns. Definitely more on the buffer guardian side. She increases the action gauge of your attack highest unit. This is going to cap at 70%. Her divine relic is going to be upon attacking 30% chance to trigger flurry 1 time, which when triggered, a normal attack will be immediately used on a random enemy, and that can include the same enemy. That cannot be triggered multiple times in a row and does not trigger on counterattack or assists. This caps out at 70% chance as well. And her 1, which will be triggered by Flurry, will be attacks a selected enemy, 70% chance to reduce their attack power for 2 turns, and fills the action gauge of the ally with the highest attack power by 30%. So that would be a 60% action gauge boost to your primary DPS. Earth Aslan is next. His default is going to be health increase. His refined is going to be at the beginning of the user's turn, 50% chance to remove one of the most recent debuffs from the user. This caps out at 70%. His divine is going to be upon attacking, 50% chance to increase the resistance of each ally for 2 turns. They're very mellow abilities, one solely focusing on him, one doing a decent job of increasing resistance to debuffs for the team. This will cap at 85%. That's going to be on his 1 and his 2 for attacking. Water Alev is an interesting one. She is a decently strong water AoE warrior with max health % damage. Her default is going to be a defense increase. Her refined is going to be a decreased damage from fire elemental enemies by 15%, so that'll help her defensively and last longer against like a fire silent straits sea god. This will go from 15% up to 32% fire elemental damage resistance. And her divine, much more on the damage side, is going to be upon attacking, which is all of her abilities, 50% chance to grant the user berserk for 2 turns, which will reduce her health by 10% of its maximum each turn, but her attack and defense will be increased by 30%. And this has a lot of very specific increases. So tier 2 is going to increase the buff chance to 70%, tier 6 is going to increase it to 90%, tier 3 is going to increase the duration to 3 turns, and the, I believe, effect of the attack and defense increase is going to be going up to 40 and 50%, which is more than I think anyone has had on a berserk before. I don't know if that's going to decrease her health even more as well. We'll have to see. Earth 9 is becoming more and more of a heavily viable Earth striker for the Silent Straits with his AoE abilities. His default is going to increase his crit rate, which would be nice to pop that off of some of your equipment for other stats, maybe crit damage. His refined, at the beginning of each round, we'll talk about that in a second, grants the user berserk for 4 turns while under the effects of berserk, just like a lev, decrease of 10% max health, increase of attack and defense by 30%. The duration of this is going to go up 3 turns at tier 2, 5, and 6 for a total of 7, which is why I got a bit confused with the wording of it at first. But his berserk effect increases up to 90% at tier 3 and 4 total. So he's going to get a 90% attack and defense increase. And I believe, given it says at the beginning of each round, not at the beginning of each turn, that might be waves. So that's the reason it goes up to a 7-turn berserk, because you get it at the very beginning and then it peters off. So it's going to be decent for Silent Straits, which I would imagine is where he would be used mostly, given his AoE damage now with the rework. I think that could last most of the battle, given you have a 40-turn limit total. The raid boss, not so much, maybe. We'll have to playtest that once I actually get some of these to see if it actually is per wave or just per battle in general. There's one other character that got something with that wording. His divine, upon attacking, 40% chance to deal up to 2 times additional damage depending on the enemy's maximum health. This adds on some % max health damage to his kit, which he does not have innately. This will cap at 80%, decent shot at that. Water Joshua, a sniper I have used pretty much constantly. His default is going to increase his resistance. His refined is going to, upon receiving damage, 50% chance to increase the user's action gauge by 20%. This will cap at 85%, so make him even faster than he already is, by the way he's built typically. And the fact that his burst will increase his gauge as well, and his 2 is an action gauge boost. His divine, upon attacking an enemy, which will be his 1 and 3, 40% chance to reduce attack of the target for 2 turns. This will cap at 90%. So this will just be an additional debuff that he can have on top of removing buffs from the enemy with his 1. Light Vanessa is our last character with new relics, and this is the first time that Vanessa has gotten any relics before, so these are new models. Same with the Water Joshua ones before. Her default is going to increase her health. Her refined is going to, upon attacking, which would be only her 1 unfortunately, 50% chance to remove one of the most recent buffs from the enemy, so it makes it more akin to Water Joshua's 1. This will cap at 85% chance. So it'll just make her 1 even better. That's also her AoE heal for the team based on the damage it does. Her divine, this is the other each round relic like Earth 9's. At the beginning of each round, 50% chance to grant invincibility on each respective ally for 1 turn. This gets to 100% chance at max tier. So when I was first reading this earlier, I got really confused because I was interpreting each round as at the beginning of each of her turns, she would automatically make everyone on the team invincible, and that seemed massively overpowered and also rendered her 2 completely useless other than the attack buff, which leads me to think that each round is either a whole battle or each wave. And if that's the case, it more functions as a, I believe, automatic blessing set for the team. That set that makes the character immune and invincible the first turn they enter. So it's more of an AoE innate version of that, just tied to her relic, which could be nice in things like really fast boss battles that you can take out in a couple turns, but they're faster than your whole team and can AoE wipe them, or particularly PvP, so you don't have to build a blessing set on everyone. You can just have Light Vanessa block everything for the first turn and then have your team go. That is going to do it for Lord of Heroes this update today. I shall see y'all in the next video.